Hey, Marty Ware here from youtube.com/Marty's Garden and www.pottedvegetablegarden.com. How you going today? Thanks for coming to check out this video. Yes, it's an update showing you all around on the patio what's going on. Some compost tea brewing that I'm doing, you know, the mini salads, etc. It's all coming together. We're into pretty much close to week 5 of kicking off here for our spring balcony garden. It's going really well, and I just like to start it off with, you know, my old surfing shot here with the dolphins. If you haven't seen it before, that was me surfing down in Byron Bay, which is about an hour south of where I used to live from here on the Gold Coast. It's a beautiful place. So with mummy, daddy and granddad dolphin, and I'm going to show you right at the beginning here a little bit of beach stuff, a little bit of surfing in the beginning. It's all about living on the Gold Coast, and then we're going to get into the patio garden. So we'll see you on the inside. I want to show you something really cool, and this is, well, I think it's really cool, and this is my large bucket here that I bought from Bunnings. Some people, I'm not sure exactly what size it is, but I've got the dual bubbler going here, so the dual air filter bubbler, dual blower bubbler, whatever they call them. I'll show you the thing. It's got 2 little air stones coming out of here, and it's going straight into this mix. And you're looking at all these bubbles going, well, what is this? Well, believe it or not, this is some like a compost tea. And what I did this morning was I got all the old bath water. Now there was hardly any soap in this, so it was fine. And I used the old bath water from overnight. I put it in there, then I put about a big lid full of seaweed mix. And then I put a big spoon of molasses, organic molasses, and then I got from the worm farm, if you watch the old videos that just come recently, a nice big scoop, so about a small, I guess you would say a table tennis table size, ball size of worm castings, and put it in there, and that's been pumping for about 3 hours now. And you can see, you're probably wondering what those bubbles are. Well, those bubbles are the microbes feeding on that nutrient that's in there. So the worm compost castings and the, you know, like the liquid seaweed blah 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 blah, gives it a bit of a boost. And once it starts getting like this film over the top, you know that it's ready. But the fact is that this pretty much is ready. It's just that it's breeding more microbes. So they're feeding on the sugars in there from the molasses, from the organic molasses, and, you know, and breeding and multiplying. And so what's happening is there's going to be like literally billions in there soon. I'm going to turn this off in a minute because I'm going to take it out to water the garden. But I want to talk to you about why I'm using this in a container garden, and some interesting facts for you as we head outside. So I'm going to head outside now. So this tomato was put into the pot around about the 1st of spring. It was already a couple of weeks old as a seedling, and it's getting some nice flowers and things on it, so you can see here at the back, and it's growing quite big and bushy. And what I'm going to be doing is taking like some cuttings off these ones and actually turning them into new tomato plants. Just, you know, maybe I'll take them onto the school. You can see there's some little tomatoes starting, some little cherry tomatoes, and that's the second pot. In the 3rd pot we got some more, lots of flowers coming through. So each branch there's flowers coming through, so I'm going to be getting tons of little tomatoes. In the pot here, there was the one that got wind damage, but we still haven't done it. It's got some pawpaws, red pawpaws coming through. We've been eating some strawberries, been getting a couple of weeks, and there's a little hoverfly going through there. You can see him, he's yellow and black, and they come around when the flowers start. They're beautiful little animals, I love them. And here's the container, so this one's the recycled water container there that has its own little reservoir, and they're the mini dwarf tomatoes. We've got a nice big pepper here. We like to call them just chili plants in Australia, and it gets a big long pepper on it, a big yellow pepper. Got some more strawberries. They get a pink flower, it's called a pinky. The red sorrel from the microgreens that I'm testing, some more pinky strawberries, and the dwarf tomatoes that only go to a couple of feet high that we're testing in the worm castings. So it's 25% worm castings, 25% compost from the garden, and the 50% Searles potting mix. So we've got some more tomatoes growing here, and my succulents down below, leafy greens, a cucumber that's going to be vining up with the nasturtiums, and so all the lettuce are doing really well. I've been harvesting from pretty much every second day, some days every day. Got some snow peas going up this grid here, and we're not too far off. We've got some flowers coming, so they'll be going into the salads as well, and that's great to see some some snow peas coming through. The avocado is doing really well after its pruning, coming back with some nice new flushes. And it'd be interesting to see how it goes now, now that it's had a prune back. You might be wondering what this container is in here. Well, I talked about how you can make a little mini worm farm out of this, but this is actually set here to drip. So when I come in, I can just turn it on a little bit, and it will just drip down through and water the plant. So basically, if I go on holidays, where I can just put on a really slow drip, like it is now, and I'll probably get a day or two out of that being full, going right through on the hot days, and that'll give me a day or two if I ever forget to water. So at the moment we're just testing that to see how long it runs for, and I only started it just this morning. It's been half a day. I filled it up half full, so I'll let you know a little bit more about that. The Brazilian cherry tree, I'm not real sure. Oh, there's our first cherry, I can't believe it. Awesome. Karen will be so excited. I haven't shown her yet. I didn't even know it had gone into flower. So that's amazing. That means it's going to flower. These flower twice a year, and they've got a super high vitamin C content. This is a part of the microgreen system that I'm doing, so I'm just giving them a bit of a spray at the moment. If you're wondering what they are, well, they're actually sunflower seeds, and you eat them once they get a couple of stages of leaves out. And I just cover them over. They're growing like in this tray here, this black tray, and with newspaper underneath, and just in potting mix. And yeah, I just spray them every day and give them a little bit of a water, and I'll come along and trim them and throw them into the salad. And we've got more microgreens growing down below here. There's the sorrel there. It's just starting to come through, and we'll be harvesting on those later. And then we've got the watercress that has just started up as well. But we're going to be doing a lot more about these, and I'm going to be calling it mini salads for apartment gardening. So keep a good eye out for more videos coming out about that. This is called a portulaca or portulacea, or they call it a jade plant, and you can actually eat this. It's got a really nice little sour taste, and I have been eating the odd leaf here and there from it. And it's very high in omega-3s. So a lot of people don't know that this is actually a food that can be consumed. And they do plant it on fence lines and things for cattle and stuff to eat as well. And like I said, super high in omega-3, so do your research on that. And with the sunflowers we're going to have a video coming up soon and talk about all the nutritional value of eating sunflower sprouts. Just coming down a bit further, the worm farm now. So here's the worm farm, and I've got some worms cruising. You can see that big lump there. Well, that's the top part of the castings that I picked just to put into the bucket to make the compost tea, and I'll just pick from the top of that, as I need it. Another worm farm down here as well, and this is a dry bin worm farm, so there's no water being accessed. It's just, we just spray it with the water bottle, keep that paper moist and keep them moist inside. The mushrooms haven't come up yet. I may have let it dry out too much, which is a bit unfortunate. And we've got some parsley growing down there, some flowers in this pot of this reed avocado seedling tree, which is, yeah, getting quite tall now, and it's probably going to hit the roof soon. So like I said, it may go over to Karen's school or get donated somewhere to be planted into the ground in the next, after the end of this summer when it's cooler. It'll go in the ground for sure. So yeah, I like to call this my potted vegetable garden. It's doing quite well, and we're getting a lot of food out of here. Pretty happy about it so far, but I'm just going to walk back inside and discuss some more about that compost tea. So we're back at the compost tea brew here. There's still, if you can see there's still quite a few bubbles in it. It's still really alive, and it will be for quite a couple of days, you know, depending on the temperature. But I can just bubble it up again in an hour or so if I don't use it, to just keep them breeding inside. Now, microbes are really more for outdoor gardens and in organic garden situations where you're not using chlorine on your garden. Unless you're getting lots of rain and then your microbes are building up in the soil. Microbes are there to be in the soil and then help uptake the nutrient to the plants. As the plants are getting sunlight on them, they're feeding the starches and everything down below. So what we've done is we've created our own little microbe system in here, because it's alive in that worm castings, especially if you're putting worm poo, cow manure, old cow manure in there. You're adding some extra microbes that get bred into this cycle. Now, in the old days with farming, well, they even still do it now, they till the soil, right? So they go through and dig it up and dig it up, dig it up, and they wonder why it gets fertile. Well, sure, there is some stuff that's rotted down, like some old, you know, leaves and tree branches or whatever's come from, you know, grass, stuff like that. And so, you know, that's fed the soil a bit as well. But it's mostly because they've gone through, and as they've tilled it all, they've killed all the microbes in the soil, so they've created all this, in a way, of blood and bone all through that soil. And, you know, like as they come through and plant it, the plants are actually feeding on those dead microbes that have died. And once they've fed on that and there's nothing left, there's basically not much left in the soil, only a bit of nutrient maybe for some build-up. So that's another reason why they do fallow gardens and all different types of, you know, different types of plantings and stuff, and let you know, things sit and stuff. But when you've got microbial gardens happening, you don't have to worry about that. So you can make this up at home and then go down and pour it on your, you know, underneath your tomatoes and all around and stuff, underneath the mulch, and you're adding massive micro boost into the garden. Sure, some will die, but some will stay alive too, and then stay underneath in that cool area where the moisture is underneath the mulch, and start building up more microbes in the soil, so your plants get a lot healthier. And also it gives it a bit of a nutrient boost, because there's some nutrient in that, you know, in there as well. Because I've added some fish emulsion, some liquid seaweed, and also, you know, a good chunk of the worm castings, which is, you know, full of nutrient. So basically, yeah, I'm going to be feeding them, be going through, they'll live off the dead microbes that die in here. Some may go into the pots and the containers, live a bit longer and bring up some starches into the plants. And, you know, I've given it, it's highly oxygenated as well, because just like nature intended in rivers and creeks, everything's bouncing off each other and moving around and stuff, so it's getting highly oxygenated, the rainfall, you know, the whole lot, you know, is designed that way for water to be oxygenated for everything, you know, inside us, inside plants, everywhere we need oxygen. And so that's why we do that. And it's also a biodynamic principle. If you see biodynamic farms, they use oxygenated systems to put out their fertilizers and different rock dusts and stuff. So that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed looking out on the veranda. We've got the stuff coming up about the mini lettuces, so the mini salads coming up, which is all the microgreens and stuff, and we're having a great time growing those with the sprouts, mixing them in with all the different salads and foods that are growing here. So please, if you haven't subscribed already, come and watch me here at Marty's Garden, and come across to see us at www.pottedvegetablegarden.com. We've got lots going on, and I love teaching and learning, and, you know, showing my mistakes and everything, and, you know, showing what I'm succeeding with, and the food that I'm getting out of this small space garden out on the patio. It's already quite amazing. It only started pretty much since the 5th today of October, so we've been going 35 days now, and it's really blooming on, and within a couple of weeks we're going to have cherry tomatoes as well coming into the salad mix. Alright, I'm Marty Ware from youtube.com/Marty's Garden. Have a great day, happy gardening, and let's keep promoting a fresh food future for all. Bye for now. Don't forget to subscribe. I think the button's down below.